Hello, today we will teach you how to apply the imitation marble coating. The tools we will use will be a stick to stir the paint, a trowel, a brush, and a roller. In total, we will have 4 steps. The first will be the primer. The second is Elas, also called the base color, which contains a high percentage of sand, which helps the application of the marble paint. Next comes the marble paint. 2 layers are applied. And finally, a top coat, which will reinforce its resistance to sun and rain. These are the steps for interiors and exterior facades. Our first step will be the sealer coat with a primer. For this step, we can use a brush, roller, or even a spray gun, depending on the best option for you. Before applying it, remember to stir it to facilitate its application. A single layer to cover the entire surface will be enough. This step will help you get better performance in the next steps. Easy and fast, we have finished our first step. Now we wait for it to dry to apply the second step. The second step is the Elas, also known as base color. First, we stir it. With a high percentage of sand, this step will help you apply our marble paint. Once the paint has this fluid appearance, it will be ready. For this step, we will use a roller, but you can also use a brush just like the first step. We will only have to cover the surface with 1 layer. Now, we will wait for it to dry and go to the next step. Now comes the most important step, the imitation marble paint. We'll stir it first. The layer we see is the water that our paint contains. Very important. Do not use any electric mixer to mix this paint, as it will damage the paint. We have to use a stick or our own hands. When we have this fluid appearance, it will be ready to apply. We put our paint on a board. If it is your first time, we recommend putting only a small amount. For this step, we will use a trowel. We will put a little paint on the trowel and apply it like this on our wall, and then we start troweling. In the first layer, do not worry about the shape the paint is taking. We just need to cover the entire surface. Remember to always keep the trowel clean before applying. Do not hold the trowel at 45 degrees. You have to keep it at this height, about 10 degrees. And with the pressure of your hand, we control the marble lines. And this is how we finish our first layer. Remember that the first layer is only to cover the surface. Don't worry if there are parts where the marble shape hasn't come out well. That's very normal. It will be in the second layer where we will give it the marble form. We wait for it to dry for the second layer. Once we make sure that the surface is dry, we will apply the second layer. In this step, we will give the wall the shape and aesthetics of natural marble. You will see that the technique is the same as before. You just have to be careful not to apply over the same part too many times, or the paint will split and you will lose the lines and shapes of the marble. When we are applying, we must always follow the same direction, either horizontal or vertical, but not both. We wait for it to dry to apply the last step. The last step is the top coat. It has to be stirred like the previous steps. We can use a brush, roller, or spray gun for this step. The application is the same as the first step. We cover the surface with 1 layer. The white color we see is normal. Don't worry about it. Once it dries, it will disappear. When applying it, be careful not to leave stains or drops. We'll wait for it to dry and we'll be done. This is how you can have your marble wall. Fast, efficient, easy, and good for the environment. We can customize any color you need. Please feel free to contact us for further questions. Thank you very much and have a good day.